Hello YouTubers, well, and Woodturners of Southwest Missouri. You're really the ones that I made this video for. I intended to record while I was turning our clay pigeon, wood pigeon challenge. For those of you that are not members of the Woodturners of Southwest Missouri, or for those of you that weren't at the meeting last month, we had not sent out an update for the picnic that is coming this Saturday. We are having what we are calling the John Trainer Invitational Wooden Pigeon Throwing Challenge. So what the challenge is to take a piece of wood and turn it into the same shape, same size as a clay pigeon. And here is mine. I'll put a couple of pictures over here. Now, we're doing this because we had a gentleman that a few years ago, we had a Frisbee contest for our annual picnic. And John Trainer was one of my favorites in the club. He was hilarious. He just passed away this last spring, but he kept putting off bringing in his Frisbee, or bringing out his Frisbee rather. And his wife, Franny, finally said, "John, just go get your Frisbee." And he brought out a wooden clay pigeon. And we just thought that would be a fun challenge this year. We've got one of our retired docs, Doc Nelson, is going to bring his clay pigeon thrower, you know, the pull thing. And I guess he's going to pull when we ask him to. But everybody's will be thrown from the same device. And the measurements, I'll put a diagram here that Doc drew out for me. You notice he was probably a better doctor than a drawing artist. But the dimensions, I believe, are an inch and a half, or I'm sorry, inch and an eighth high. And this part right here is very important because that's what actually touches the device that throws the pigeon. And that, I believe, is 3/8. Let me go off camera for a second. Okay, so I went and got ye old trusty tape measure. It is 4 1/8, I believe. Again, look right here for exact dimensions. I think he used a caliper. It is about, well, I'll just post right here the dimension on a height. And then that part that I was talking about is a solid 3/8, this rib right here. So that's what you want to make sure that you get dead on so that it'll throw properly. Now, we did a group buy last year. Maybe it was, no, it was this last January. We did a group buy with Woodturners Wonders, Ken Rizza. And part of a group buy with a club is he gives back 10% in the form of gift certificates to the club members, or to the club to use how they wish. And we're going to use one of those for this challenge. Whoever, and I think it's going to be mine, whoever's wooden pigeon, or wooden squab if they're teeny tiny, because squab is what a baby pigeon is, whoever turns, and it has to be basically the same size as a real clay pigeon, whoever's pigeon is thrown the farthest will win that $50 gift card. Now, real quickly, let me tell you how I did mine. Again, I was intending to record that for you and show you every step. But what I did was I used my screw chuck. I used one set of jaws, and for those newbie turners that have a chuck and a worm screw and only one set of jaws, you can do it. So I took my piece of wood that I did round out on the bandsaw before I put it on, and I put it on the screw chuck. And I turned the outside and marked the thickness on the bird. I did my little paint job here on it in that perspective. Then I flipped it around. Well, what I didn't tell you is I cut my tenon in here, recess tenon, and flipped it around on the chuck, and the chuck held it here, and then I hollowed out the base. Okay, so it's a pretty easy project. This one took me, without the painting, probably about 30-45 minutes is all. But I did a little bit of texturing for fun, and I did a little bit of color on it. And I didn't want orange. I have orange, but I didn't want orange. I wanted to be a little bit different. Everybody that knows me says I'm a little bit different. So anyway, I hope that our club members that haven't yet turned one, there's still time, Helen. I promise you it doesn't take that long. Helen probably hers won't stand a chance against mine though. For those of you that know Helen, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I hope that you'll enter the contest, and for those of you on YouTube that are not members of our club, I'll try to give an update as to how it went at our picnic. It might be something that you'd want to do somewhere down the road with your club. Who knows? Anyway, that's it for now. I'm going to go practice throwing my pigeon.